This article discusses weight loss. Any health-related information is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of a physician or other qualified health provider for any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or before embarking on any diet, exercise, or wellness program. During a recent Q&A with fans, the Real Housewives of New York City mom was asked to break down her go-to skincare treatments and/or cosmetic procedures. Jessel confirmed she has been getting preventive Botox since age 26 so the skin stays smooth. However, she mainly gets injections on the forehead and above the eyebrows for a little lift. Jessel also said she's received filler injections over the years, but does so in moderation. Too much is dangerous, so I do under eye/lips/jawline to reinstate loss of volume, she said before shouting out Dr. Laura Dyer, a New York City-based physician specializing in aesthetic and clinical skincare. Laura is an artist and knows the tricks of the trade. As for non-invasive treatments, Jessel said she gets monthly facials with Cynthia Rivas and is particularly fond of the clear and bright resurfacing laser. She also drinks lots of water and uses the Color Blend brightening pads from Dr. Roberta Skin Science. I'm obsessed, she said about the latter product. When fans got their first look at Roni season 15, many noted that Jessel looked slightly different than she did in the previous season. The perceived change, of course, sparked an online debate on whether she had undergone cosmetic surgery or was taking medication for weight loss. Although the mother of two said the speculation was unsurprising, she insisted there was zero truth to the rumors. I think that when you're in reality it's so natural to be like, oh, she got plastic surgery or she did this or she's on Ozempic, she told Us Weekly back in October. I actually hate Ozempic. I would never put needles in myself. I think it's just the natural reaction to people who make positive change, physically or otherwise. Jessel admitted her first year on reality was really hard, as she wasn't quite used to criticism and backlash from strangers. The London native said she eventually realized that scrutiny is inevitable and has learned how to tune out the negativity. As time went on, I sort of understood that people are going to express their opinions, and I don't actually have to take it, she explained. I know who I am and I'm very sure, very confident in myself. Obviously, social media and that sort of wave of overwhelming feedback, it can be quite harsh at times. I learned to block it out and I actually think these people are really funny because some of the stuff they say is so insane. Now, I actually just laugh at the comments, she continued, and I read all of them and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're so sad. During Roni season 14, Jessel spoke candidly about the sex drought she and her husband, Pavit Randhawa, were experiencing. She shed more light on the issue in an interview with Marie Claire, explaining why she struggled with intimacy after giving birth to her twin boys Kai and Rio. There was a lot going on in my body at the time. With hormones, how your body changes, putting on weight, I was feeling very self-conscious, she said. I just didn't feel emotionally strong and physically strong, to be honest. Was unreal throughout the whole process. There's something to say about a man that stands by someone and doesn't need that physical reinforcement. He was just a pillar, a rock of strength for me. There's always a ton going on in the world of housewives. Sometimes our favorite stars are the best of friends, but there are also instances of them not getting along. This happened recently between the Real Housewives of New York City's Dorian Day medley and Real Housewives of New Jersey's Margaret Josephs when they were supposed to do another live show together. Now, Dorian Day is opening up about the decision not to do the show. As some fans know, Dorian Day and Margaret had been touring their Blonde Ambition, a Real Housewives experience show. They planned another date, but canceled it after an awkward appearance on Jeff Lewis Live, where they, mainly Margaret, talked over each other quite a bit. Now, Dorian Day is talking to Page Six about what happened between the two Housewives icons. Specifically, the interviewer asked if they were currently in a good place. There's always a ton going on in the world of housewives. Sometimes our favorite stars are the best of friends, but there are also instances of them not getting along. This happened recently between the Real Housewives of New York City's Dorinda Medley and Real Housewives of New Jersey's Margaret Josephs when they were supposed to do another live show together. Now, Dorinda is opening up about the decision not to do the show. As some fans know, Dorinda and Margaret had been touring their Blonde Ambition, a Real Housewives experience show. They planned another date, but canceled it after an awkward appearance on Jeff Lewis Live, where they, mainly Margaret, talked over each other quite a bit. Now, Dorinda is talking to Page Six about what happened between the two Housewives icons. Specifically, the interviewer asked if they were currently in a good place. Dorinda replied, "Yes, and we didn't cancel that. Everyone thinks Margaret and I canceled it. We didn't. It just got canceled from City Winery." She goes on, "I found out when everyone found out. So, people love to run with anything. I said to someone the other day, if that's the big news, then there ain't much news going on." Dorinda went on to explain that she was bummed they couldn't do the show and said that there must have been some sort of timing issue preventing it. She then said, "In fact, I'm seeing Margaret, I think, soon for something." Of course, this seems like a political answer on Dorinda's part. We all saw how intense that interview was, and it seemed then that they had issues. For whatever reason, it appeared that Margaret wanted to dominate the conversation, even when questions were directed at Dorinda. You can judge from the clip below. Additionally, it seems odd that they would find out that the show was canceled simultaneously as everyone else.